Hey, hey, I'm Dad from Really Big Fish, and you're tuned in to Hit the Floor, not Hitler Floor.
Hi, I'm Chris for Hit the Floor magazine, and we're here with the legendary Dan from Real Big Fish. How you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Very, very good. Very pleased to be
You and your
here.
invisible friends.
Yeah, they're not really here.
Yeah, right.
Got to admit, I'm quite an old school fan. I saw you back
good.
in 2001, I think, in Newport in Wales.
in Wales, right?
I'm trying to remember who you were playing with then. It was a proper old school time. Lubby Nugget.
Lubby Nugget and Lightyear? I don't know.
No, I think
can't guess.
it was like I thought it was like when I looked it up earlier.
They may have been on the second one.
Shooting Goon.
Oh, shoot! They were the Welshmen, right?
Yeah.
Proper hometown
So
show for them.
Proper old school. So obviously I've been a fan for a while. What I was going to ask initially is obviously you've been around for over 10 years now. It's a long time.
Yeah, I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
Don't look it.
Do you feel you've made it, even though Weird Al has not done a cover of one of your songs yet?
Yeah, I feel like I think we made it a long time ago, and we've just been coasting on that for about 10 years. So we're very fortunate to have videos on MTV and things like that back in the mid-90s, and we're just still kind of milking it. Luckily, the fans are all still out there and treat us like rock stars.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to say. You guys and Less Than Jake seem to be like the big two. Like they have the big four, which is Metallica, Anthrax, Slayer, and Megadeth. You guys like the
company.
You're like the big two in the ska punk world. I mean, how do you think you've kept that up?
We just didn't quit. We've lost a lot of band members over the years, just for personal reasons or whatever. They leave the band and stuff like that. And we've managed to keep getting great guys in the band, so we can keep going. I mean, as far as the first lineup goes, just Aaron and I are left, but all the cats playing with us now are excellent musicians, and they're much better people than us. They had to go out into the real world and get college degrees and have terrible jobs and things, so they really appreciate it. Me and Aaron, all we've ever done is been in bands, so we kind of get cranky sometimes. Come on, we got a sound check. What?
No, you don't appreciate it.
Yeah, we don't. We're awful. Like toddlers.
I mean, obviously the ska punk as a scene, obviously, sadly, isn't as popular as it was back in its heyday.
Sadly.
But you guys still manage to pack out venues.
Yeah.
I mean,
well,
what do you think it is? Why is that? I'm not saying you're not good or anything.
Well, we're still learning.
We still love you.
There's a bit of that nostalgia, I guess. People want to see us before we're old and gray, maybe. I don't know. I think it's a real. It's an important time in kids' lives. Like, I mean, obviously there's a wide sort of age group that comes to the shows, but I think there's this moment sort of right when you maybe get your driver's license, or you're allowed to stay out late, but you can't quite go to the bar and drink, at least in the States. I mean, here you can drink White Lightning. But it's that sort of like pre-adult, pre-20s kind of thing, and all you can do is blast the tunes real loud with your friends and go to late night diners and all share one plate of French fries or something like that. It's kind of, I think it's an important moment, and we get to represent that. And then eventually they go on to listen to sad music and dress in all black and things like that. But we're there. We're like the marijuana. We're like the gateway drug of bands. Once they hear Real Big Fish, they're like, wait, there's all this stuff out there that's not being fed to me by the
whole new world.
The radio. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing.
Maybe that has something.
What I was going to say, obviously you say about, it's more happy and everything. You've always had a very sarcastic tone, which I've loved. I think it's brilliant. It's always like
it goes over better here, I think.
You're angry at the scene and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll ever make a 100% happy album?
No.
No,
because the sort of the seed that's planted for the songwriter, in our case, in Aaron's songwriting is usually comes from a negative experience. Like he doesn't draw upon happy experiences and say, oh, I'm going to write a song about that. So he usually starts with something negative, and then he goes, but I got to make it funny because, oh, it's just life, and that's what happens, you know. So
yeah, it seems to work really well. Obviously.
Yeah.
You got,
we like happy music. He doesn't like minor keys. I mean, you're talking about like half of music in general, but he's like, oh, it's terrible minor keys. So it all has to be happy music. And,
I think people don't realise if they've just listened to you guys, they listen to it and they're like, oh, this is really, really happy.
Right.
But yeah, you look deep into the lyrics and it's a bitter.
We like that irony, that sort of happy and the sarcastic thing. I don't know, it's just, you know, being raised on the type of comedians we were raised on and the movies we like, it all just kind of informs the songwriting, I guess.
Yeah, I believe obviously you toured with the Aquabats again recently.
Oh yeah,
good friends
great to see them again.
So obviously that's a very clash of, they're the most happy band in existence, surely.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I know, it's awful. We get up there and there's like 5-year-olds in the audience, you know, that watch the Yo Gabba Gabba TV show they do, and they want to see the Aquabats fight the bad guys. And then we get up there and say the F word like 500 times, you know.
Have they ever asked you to be on Yo Gabba Gabba?
Yeah, we've been talking to them about it. We'll see if it happens, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever got any of the monsters on stage with you, like Brody or?
No. They had the robot guy out with them on the last tour they were on, so we'd get to see him every day. But no. I have a 2-year-old, and so I like to tell her that I know the Yo Gabba characters and show my pictures of myself with them. Like, look, Daddy's at work with a robot, you know. But
the first band I ever saw that had a commercial break. It was brilliant.
Oh yeah, it's perfect.
Halfway through a fight with the Golden Idol, which they tried to beat with enchanted bread.
Yeah, right. Of course.
Many bands like that.
You know, they're at the shop hours before the show, just throwing together costume ideas. Okay, we'll call him the Wizard of Paperclips. Buy those; they're cheap. Yeah.
So it's all very much made up before.
Oh yeah, they're great. But their ideas are endless. I mean, they always have some hilarious joke every night. It's a good environment, I think, creatively to work in with those guys.
Definitely. So going back to what you said earlier, so obviously you've had a lot of band members leave. Obviously Scott left recently, which obviously very sad. Wanted to ask, obviously don't want to be negative. Obviously he's left a very sad time. What's your favourite memory
of Scott?
Yeah. I was making something good. Obviously, he's not in the band anymore, so you can dish whatever dirt you want on him.
Oh my gosh! Well, there were whole years where he would just be passed out with a whiskey bottle and in the back of the bus. I remember one time he broke a window with his head on the bus. That was pretty funny.
Well, bus window.
Yeah, bus window.
That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty sick. He had this temper problem, and the bus always suffered. Scott's a great guy, and we wish him all the best. He's got a little girl on the way, and he's, you know, it's time. It was time, I guess.
Yeah. So here we got one of the guys from Goldfinger.
Over there, Mr. Matt Appleton doing his sit-ups.
Hello over there.
He comes from a band that's much more fit than us.
You're not doing the stretches like him.
Oh no, I do beer stretches. You know, it's all in the arm.
Yeah, stretching the liver.
Yeah.
See how far you can take.
Man, does it stretch, and the bladder. So yeah, we stole him. We scalped him from Goldfinger, and that's just a lesson to them. They got to treat their horn players better, or they'll run off to the Valhalla of horns that is Real Big Fish.
Didn't you used to lend you guys to them anyway?
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair. You know, that's it.
Talking about other ska bands, I was thinking earlier on, obviously about. I used to be so into my ska punk. Obviously, I was in a ska punk band myself.
Awesome.
Everything. What would you say your favourite ska punk bands that are no longer around? For me personally, I was a big fan of Save Ferris and the Dancehall Crashers.
Oh yeah. Actually, the song "Sellout" our song "Sellout" was written right when Dancehall Crashers got signed and were making their first video. And all of us everyone in the local scene was in Orange County was in this uproar, like, well, they must be selling out. You know, and so the song is kind of that tongue-in-cheek thing of how we're all kind of looking for that deal and to make a music video, you know, even though, sure, it's selling out, but if we all do it, it's fun, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Was there any particular bands that you used to enjoy playing with that aren't around at the moment?
I mean, all those bands at the time were really exciting. We probably had about 10 shows in our early days with Sublime. I think Sublime showed up to one, and it was a house party. and they didn't even play. We just played on their gear.
Right.
But they were one of my favorite bands from the time, and I'd say 80% of the time they were the worst band you'd ever seen, and 20% of the time they were the best band you'd ever see. So
depended on Bradley's.
Depending on the day,
state,
yeah.
I guess.
I've never seen a drummer throw up while playing drums and keep drumming. But anyway, I guess they're back out again, and they're awesome. Fishbone was a real influence on us from those days. They kind of, I guess, as far as the third wave of ska, like they're one of those mainstays. They added the heavy metal and the weirdness to ska. So even though we're lumped in as a third wave band, they're 10, 15 years older than us. So it's kind of weird to be in that same category. But Boss Tones too, definitely.
I was reading about. I was obviously interested to see whether you guys were going to release anything new. I believe in a lot of interviews, you tell people you do, but from what I've realised, it's actually a lie just to keep the fans going. And basically, you're just releasing like your best of and stuff, just literally to keep the ball rolling, keep people interested. Are you ever going to get off your ass and actually record something?
Yeah, definitely soon. We'll be.
Is this a lie? Is this a lie?
It's not a lie. I think we got a confirmation from Aaron that he's no longer terrified of doing a new record. He gets real frustrated because we play 250 shows a year, and anytime we play anything off recent records, I mean, there's the people in the audience that like it, but generally people want to hear Beer and Sell Out and all those great songs. It's not that we don't like them, but it gets frustrating when you're trying to write new songs if all anyone wants to hear are the old ones.
Yeah.
We kind of had a list when we got off the record label in 2006. We sort of had this to-do list of all the things we'd ever wanted to do. Like, well, if we, when you're young and you're like, oh, it's the label that's holding us back. If we weren't on the label, we could do a best of record. Who does a best of record right away? But anyway, a best of record and a live record, and we had this thing. And so we've kind of done most of them except for maybe a Christmas record. But
that'll be good.
Yeah. Well, we'll probably work on a new originals kind of album.
I believe besides Real Big Fish, you've got your own techno project as well.
Right? Yeah.
Black Casper.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. It sounds good.
It started as like a sort of a political activist sort of thing. I was doing a lot of street theater and protesting and whatnot, and I was like, I'm not an actor. I am not a graphic designer making clever signs. What do I do? Oh, I make music. So I tried to channel all that into making music, and I've kind of been taking a break lately because I have a kid, and so whenever I'm home from tour, I spend as much time with her as possible. But there's always new tunes, mulling around in my dome. So
is it like political techno?
It's more like instrumental hip hop. It's not quite techno, I guess. It's like I don't know. Yeah, I guess my favorite artists in that genre would be like DJ Shadow or DJ Spooky or. Okay. Some of the LA guys like Daedalus and Flying Lotus and things like that. So it's what I aspire to be.
Are you ever going to tour it?
I don't know, because that's the trick, right?
Maybe a warm-up.
The wife doesn't like it that I'm on tour as it is. So if I start another project and go on tour with it, well, that's double the touring. But
I remember the Aquabats did. They had Adam warm up as Digital Unicorn.
Right.
Back in the day, so
yeah.
Maybe Digital Unicorn, Black Casper.
Oh yeah,
tour.
that'd be a good tour.
I think it'd be big.
Yeah, and they got that whole happy sad thing too. Then.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow, all right.
It's quite good.
Hey Adam, I'm looking for you.
So, is there any other messages you want to send out to anyone? Any things you want to plug? Any cool things?
Hey, Black Casper's on iTunes for the low price of $2.97.
Festival.
We're playing the Strapless what's it called?
Strapless Festival.
The Slam Dunk Festival. We will be strapless.
Strapless sounds quite good.
At the Slam Dunk Festival in May with some of the bands you mentioned, Less Than Jake and Goldfinger, a bunch of brigands. I'd like just to thank all the fans for coming back over the years and keeping me from being a barista, because I'm terrible at it. So thanks, guys.
We enjoy your stuff. So
Cheers.
it's all good. Thank you very much.